Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure for us to be here today. So today our topic will be navigating the future of commercial aviation, and we'll be seeing how the market evolution is impacting the role of the pilots, your role as pilots. So we'll come to the introductions later. What if the most stable profession in the role is changing right beneath our feet? Commercial aviation is standing today at a turning point. After the unexpected COVID disruption of the pandemic, our industry has not just recovered, but it has moving forward, surged forward. Travel demand now it exceeds the pre-COVID levels. Aircraft order books are the record highs, and artificial intelligence as well is bringing an impact. It's not a distant concept anymore, but it's something that is impacting right now, even now your job and the way aviation is built. And when an industry transforms, so does the role of the people within, which means you as a pilot. And because today the role of the pilot is evolving, it is shaped by a powerful economic forces, but also by a social and human realities inherent into the professions. And also by accelerating technologies. We're going to see about this a little later, but how artificial intelligence is also impacting your role, and it will be in the further years to come, your role as professional pilots. So the question is not that whether the change is coming. We know it's here. The question should be how we're going to navigate it, how we're going to process it, prepare for it, and understand the change so we can implement ourselves and your profession as well, adapt, adjust to the new market trends. So my name is Bruna, as you can see. I'm an international business developer at Pilot SAAM. We are a specialized provider of loss of license insurance in France, but we offer this kind of insurance worldwide. We'll talk later about that more, but I've been doing this for more than years, for over a decade now. I've been working closely with pilots like you, with insurers, and also with airlines to guarantee access to the best possible health and career protection. So my work has allowed me to see and to understand and to discover all the good things and the strengths that comes with your profession, but also the vulnerabilities. So we're going to talk today, joined by Eric here, aka Rico Pilot, that you might know, who is going to bring a personal perspective to this topic. So I'll let Eric, the floor is yours. I'll let you explain now.
Thank you, Bruna, and hello, guys. Thank you to be here with me. Just a short presentation. I'm captain on a Global 7500 base in Hong Kong, 1 month on, 1 month off. And during my months off, I'm doing social media, and I'm as well instructor, CRI, CRE, on a TBM, PC-12, and Piper Meridian. That's all my life. I like to fly, and I like to share all my passion with aviators, students, airline pilots, everybody. So, and I start on this business very, at 42 years old. At 42 years old, I became a professional pilot. Why? Because before that, I have a problem with my eyes, and I cannot become professional pilot. And at 42 years old, I find a guy, and he say, "Hey, I can operate you." And then after 7 seconds, by eyes, I got 10 and 10, and I can become a professional pilot. So today, I will, with Bruna, talking about the market. The market is a big market. We're talking about some numbers soon. Yes. Let's go, Bruna.
Okay, you can do it. No? Yeah.
Okay, so 300,000 new pilots in 2024. 2024, it's, long time ago already. And over 20 years on the horizon, it should be 655 600,000 or 700,000 new pilots we need. So those numbers are massive, you know, but number alone don't, tell that whole story. So what is driving this demand? Main drivers, First, so mass retirement. And many country pilots are required to retire at the ages around 65 years old, accelerating the crew turnover. So a whole generation is progressively leaving the cockpit. Business aviation is increasing from 23,000 to 27,000 aircraft, plus 19%, nearly 20% growth. So yes, a third, less visible but critical factor. High training cost and barriers to entry into this profession, which limit how quickly new pilots can enter the market. So yes, demand is strong for sure, but growth is real, But they have question. Does strong demand automatically mean stability and opportunity for everyone? Let's look about that, Bruna.
Yes, so now we're looking into responding to this question as the opportunity is equal to everyone. At first glance, yes, the answer will be yes. But we're going to see that's not quite true. The market appears extremely promising at first, but we've seen that is in certain regions, the market is not equally distributed. For example, in Asia and in the Middle East, the pilot job market is highly dynamic. As you can see, recruitment is really active, fleets are expanding, opportunities are visible. But in Europe and North America, especially for entry-level pilots, we can see the market is way more competitive. So what we're seeing is not an uniform global shortage, but a dynamic, but uneven markets. And with that evolution come new trends that we're going to look into. Is going to be occasionally accelerating career progression, diversification of operations, such as long-haul cargo, low-cost, ACMI, but also increased job precarity. The airlines today are not covering you in terms of social protection that well that they used to be in the past. In other words, opportunities haven't grown, but also has grown the complexity of this profession. The profession remains active, and if I'm talking to pilots today, and I believe many of you are, flying is still a dream for you guys. But the pathway has changed, and it's still gonna change with the artificial intelligence in the future. The initial financial investment remain strong, substantial. It can be a barrier. Rico was mentioned earlier. Early career stage may involve also long hours, operational pressure, and sometimes even bad working conditions. But perhaps most important, long-term job security, as we used to know for this, is not something that is guaranteed systematically these days, which leads us to a deeper question that we're going to try to answer. So what does this evolution mean on a human level for you guys as a pilot?
Thank you, Bruna. Next, current challenge linked to market evolution. Of course, growth brings opportunity, but it can also create pressure, pressure on the training pipeline. Flight school and simulator infrastructure are struggling to keep pace with demand, okay? Yeah, that's very important to know, the pressure you can have when you become a student pilot and you would start a new career to professional pilot. At the same time, the cost for pilot training now from A to the end So it's about 70,000 to more than 100,000. That's very, very, very expensive, you know. It's a significant financial commit. So, and there it's the reality, you know. We rarely discuss openly, and then the risk of discovering a medical issue that could abruptly end the training and stop directly your career. That's like talking about my eyes before, but we can many, you know, think to stop your career. So the risk for someone who has invested a lot of money, it's, you know, it's very dangerous. And then financially and emotionally, that the risk is not, it's a real risk. Impact of the quality of life, yes. Last year, I spent 222 nights on the hotel, just thinking about your family style and everything. You have to manage that. It's very important. Beyond training, the professional itself carries structural challenge, you know, intensive work schedule, family life challenge, like I'm talking about, and deterioration of working condition. So behind every roster is a human, you know, and managing fatigue, responsibility, and personnel commitment. The specific impact of artificial intelligence, that's important too, you know. And then there is the technology. Artificial intelligence, advanced pilot assistance system, and even virtual co-pilot concept is no longer futurist ideas, you know. If I'm talking about a plane I knew very well, the new TBM 980 or the 960, now we have the home safe system, we have the eco-pilot. So intelligence artificial are there for sure. Automation, of course, is reducing certain technical tasks, you know, but it's not reducing responsibility. Be careful with that. Instead, the pilot's role is shifting toward, you know, greater system supervision, exception of management, decision-making in increasingly complex environment, and then continuous adaptation and recurrent training, of course. Every 6 months, you are going on the torture chamber, you know, on the simulator, and you need to be very good on your head. Adaptation pace and the future of the pilot profession. Bruna, yes. It's yours.
Thank you. So how do pilots adapt in a profession that is growing and changing constantly? That is becoming more demanding, more technological, and less predictable. So in this, if the environment is evolving, adaptation is no longer something you just can afford to, but you need to be strategic about that. Tomorrow's pilots will need more technical proficiency that they used to have. They will also need to work on developing our new skills, such as the digital tools that are increasing, the automated systems, also to learn how to deal with the crisis management and leadership skills directly to technology. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yes. Sorry. Advancing also human factors that are changing as well. So the value of pilots are increasing, rooted in judgment, resilience, and also decision-making. Under, of course, always uncertainty. So career management has also become an active responsibility as for the pilots, including with an ability to transition between different types of models, the contracts, the operations, but also anticipating and evolving without this new kinds of contracts, also the continuous training throughout the whole career. The pilot career is not a straight line, what you can see. It's not anymore a straight line, not as much as it used to be at least, but it's dynamic trajectory. And finally, in this whole environment where careers depend on both market forces, but also medical fitness, protection is not just something that we leave behind. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to anticipate to it. We don't want to even think about it, especially if I'm talking to young pilots that just be starting the training or just finish the training. You want to talk about your career, not much about a medical issue. Yet, this is something that happens, and because your whole career can depend on one medical decision, it's better to anticipate and to be strategic about it. So that's why we exist. There are solutions in terms of loss of license insurance, and they're becoming more relevant. As I mentioned before, sometimes some airlines are reducing some to cut costs, basically, but they're reducing some benefits that used to be something normal. Today, not much for every company. But the capital increase, the capital insurer as well can be lower. So there's a more and more markets, and the market is growing, and the interest of individual pilots for a person loss of license insurance are growing. They provide financial security in the event of a permanent loss of license, but also a temporary caused by an illness or accident, preventing a pilot from continuing his career as professional pilot, or even for trainees that will cause them to stop the training. With all the costs that Rico pilot Eric mentioned earlier, this coverage will kind of compensate whatever amount you put in the training. So pilot time, this is our This is our products. We offer 3 types of coverage. We offer the death coverage in case something happened to you. We will pay you a lump sum, not you, but your beneficiary, a lump sum that will cover you for the fees or help compensate this loss. Also, the permanent loss of license is a major one. We pay you a lump sum if you cannot renew definitely your medical class 1 for any medical reason that can be. We pay you at once a large sum that you can choose when you enter in our contract or even later on, that will allow you to find another solution or to compensate the loss of your revenue. And finally, the temporary loss of license. Basically, this is the temporary fitness. We pay you a monthly sum that will compensate the loss of your revenue as a pilot. Because in a profession where everything can depend on one medical decision, preparation is not pessimism. It is a foresight. If you'd like to learn more about our offer, we will be here the whole weekend, so feel free to stop by.
I will just add something more younger. Yes, more younger you start your loss of license, your more cheaper is.
Exactly,
that's very important. Because I started at 42 years old, you know,
that's true.
And it was already very expensive, but you need it.
Exactly, yeah. We have the case that we can talk later about but we have case that young pilots, even them, they unfortunately need this insurance from time to time because accident happen, illness happen, it's better to be prepared. So you at least won't think about it. Okay, it's already hard enough to lose your dream, but if you can remove the financial aspect on it, it's already something worth the risk, I'll say.
Thank you, Bruna.
Thank you all
for
listening.
Guys. Thank you all.
Thank you.
And have a nice Pilot Expo.
Yes.